Hey, welcome back to another episode of Life in All Directions. I'm Dante Street. Really
Thanks for
wanted
joining.
to take you down like a walk. Just like we're going for a walk and just two friends talking. And I wanted to talk to you about rejection. It's such a hard pill to swallow at times. And whether it's rejection in the dating world or rejection for a job that you really think that you were going to be great for. And even if you think that you're going to be this amazing person, whether it's for a job or again for someone that you're dating, or even maybe it's a house that you and your significant other were going after. And, you didn't get those things that you thought were going to line up and really just kind of change the trajectory of what you wanted in your life. It goes with the saying, right? I think Mick Jagger said it best. You can't always get what you want. But when you look at rejection in all angles, friendships, dating, job hunting, opportunities, the feeling of hearing no is, God, it's painful. It's just this dagger that hits you sometimes, because the truth is, like, really, like, rejection just stings. We don't want to hear the no coming to us. We want to be able to thrive and think that this opportunity is meant for us. What you really have to look at it is that it's something that's redirecting you, because maybe it really wasn't meant for you. And you have to have that door closed in order for another one to open and make way for that opportunity. And I think a lot of us get so caught up in the no at times that we seldomly forget that we're human and that no is a part of life, and you have to be okay with the word no. I remember being in sales and hearing the word no was like an opportunity for me to overcome that objection. But life is not a big sale, so you can't really overcome an objection if somebody is telling you no, especially in the dating realm. That's one that always stings, right? Because you get so sick and tired of wanting to like start over, and the whole process of trying to get to know somebody. And it's like, how many damn times do you want to ask somebody what their favorite color is or what their favorite movie is? And it's just old. So I know that I get tired of it. I'm probably sure that you're sick and tired of it, especially if you're in the dating world or even in the job hunt. You're just tired of hearing these no's. And it's like, when am I going to catch my break? Or when am I going to find my person? Or, when are we going to get this opportunity that we're looking for? And sometimes you feel that you're overlooked or undervalued. And that's not really the case. Like, let's be real, especially in dating. Like, rejection is one of the hardest things that people actually will feel, because it feels personal. Like, why am I not good enough for you? You know what I mean? And you can't look at it as you're not good enough, because that person could be fighting battles or things that you're not even aware of. And it's not that it has anything to do with you. And you could paint this picture perfect evening and do all of these amazing things that you think that this person is going to enjoy. No, I'm not talking about even most recent experiences that I've had, even in rejection, but you feel that you've opened up, you've invested time, you've maybe even started to catch feelings. But then, somebody ghosts you, right? Or they say that you're great, but you're just not great for me. And I've spoken about it before, like where you get this HR decline letter that comes in. But here's what I've learned: like, somebody else's choice doesn't lower your value, and you shouldn't let it ever lower your value, because if they can't see your worth, it's not exactly your loss. It's their limits to see the greatness that you have. I think when you really kind of just sit down and think about like who you are as a person, like, you're this great human being that is doing amazing things. And not everybody's going to see you how you see you. And that's more than okay. And you just also have to remember, like, you're not for everybody. You shouldn't want to be for everybody. Like, you should want to be for that person that's out there, especially when it comes to dating. Dating is more along the lines of not just getting to know somebody else, but it's getting to know yourself. It's getting to know these boundaries that you have. And, some I was talking to my older brother, and he was telling me about this, like, hey, you shouldn't set boundaries so early. But I think you have to have boundaries, because boundaries are your standards, right? And those are what you kind of hold yourself to, of what you will and will not accept. I think you have to kind of hold that line in the sand. Now, I want to talk about rejection in your career. God, that's been a challenging one, for me, right? Like, I really felt that I'd be more advanced, in the company that I currently work for, both of them actually, and I thought that my opportunities would come a lot earlier than they may have. I can tell you that when you get the letter or the email, if you will, that they've decided to move forward with another candidate, man, like that one, you feel that one cuts deep, right? Because you feel like you've interviewed so well, like you did all of preparation, you did all of the research even about the job position, you answered every single question with like just straight answers in regards to like the answers that they are looking for, or maybe they weren't, who knows? I mean, it may not have even been anything that you did in this interview that caused you to not get accepted. Maybe somebody just stood out, or maybe it was something that they might have had that you didn't have at the moment. And that's okay. But I think in those situations, it's more than okay to ask for follow up to what you can do differently, you know what I mean, in the next time that you get the opportunity to shine for something like that. But here's the flip side, right? Like every rejection is going to push you closer towards the right opportunity. And you have to really kind of take that with it, like just a smile, because this opportunity that is out there waiting for you, it may not be right away. It may not be next month. It may not be in the next 3 months. It may not be this year, but you have to understand that your opportunity awaits you. You have to really understand that you are going to be destined for much more. But that's up to you, right? Like that's up to you if you want that growth. Like I don't want to sugarcoat some bullshit, because you could be fucking off at work. You could be dicking around, and you got an opportunity to interview and you might have completely fucked it off. You know what I mean? And you think that you did amazing, but like you didn't, and you have to be honest with yourself about that, because there are times where what you think is good enough is not good enough to somebody else. But it's okay to ask for that feedback. I think you should, because sometimes the rejection and all of that is the protection. It might have been a job that you absolutely hated. It might have been a job that you could not have stand your boss, or you just might have had just bad coworkers, or a number of things, right? Like you could have took a job that now turned into a commute that you thought you were ready for, and you don't want to commute. You've worked from home, like myself. God, I've worked from home for the last 2+ years, and man, like the thought of like commuting is like dreadful to me. You know what I mean? Yet I've entertained opportunities where I would be commuting, and I still entertain those opportunities, because I feel like if it's a stepping stone towards the ultimate goal of where I want to get to, then yeah, you have to make a little bit of sacrifice, and that's okay, to make that sacrifice. And you have to determine how long you want that sacrifice to be. But, you'll find your direction. And I think it's being honest with yourself and knowing exactly what you can and cannot do, and really paying attention to job details. You know what I mean? That's the best advice I can give you when you're job hunting. Pay attention to the job details, and even reach out to possibly somebody that may be doing the interview in regards to seeing what information you can get ahead of time. Because the more information that you have, the more prepared you can actually get. Now, they may not be able to give you the interview questions. I think those are a little sacred, but I think if you can ask what structure of interview it'll be, it'll kind of, help you understand. Like maybe it's a star method interview, and you kind of have to have examples ready to go, and allows you time to start thinking of examples of certain things. And you can always look up what a star interview is. I did before, and it's worked in regards to certain, interviews that I've had in the past where I felt that I did really well and have gotten pretty far, and even have had some offers that, I've declined. Rejection doesn't just happen in love or our jobs. It happens everywhere. You know what I mean? Like it's a friend sometimes that doesn't invite you out. It's a project that gets shot down. It's a door that closes when you thought you would be able to walk through. And not every door is meant for you to walk through, right? It hurts because rejection makes you feel unseen, and it makes you feel unheard. And it often is life saying, like, hey, this is not for you. And I need to shut this door for you so I can open up the door that is for you. And man, I can't even express how many times that like I've applied for jobs that I thought I was a great fit. I've had interviews that I thought I did extremely well on. And, you just get that damn decline letter in the mail, and it's like, shit, like what on God's green earth could I have done differently? Or you make it to like the final round, you know what I mean? And they end up going with a different client. Boy, is that hurtful. That is one that absolutely stinks. But you just got to keep moving. You know what I mean? Like you got to keep moving, man. Like because you can't sit there and dwell off that shit, because it's gonna just eat up at you, and it's gonna fuck with your head. And we already got enough shit in this world. Like, shit, a lot of us are just trying to tread water and keep our head above, you know what I mean? So we don't drown with all the bullshit that we have to kind of go through here, especially living in California. I don't even mean the political bullshit. I'm just more along the lines of like just living, you know what I mean? So it's a scary feeling when you get rejection, and especially in the workforce, or even in just certain things in life, because of the fact that like you may have been counting on this to happen for you, especially the job growth, right? Where you're like, man, I need this job. Like, I need this job in order to feed my family. I need this job in order to, to live life, pay my rent, pay my bills, my mortgage, etc. And man, you don't get that damn thing, and now you feel like you're having to settle. I don't think you have to settle for a damn thing. I think you can actually, learn how to pick the decisions that are right for you, right? And I think by doing so, I think you have to kind of understand, where your life is going and where you want it to go. That's going to actually help you. But let's look at actually reframing rejection. I mean, like what I've learned in like how to reframe rejection is more along the lines of it's not the end. Like this is just a pivot. You know what I mean? I could definitely tell you like, God damn, rejection in dating is just it's so gut wrenching when you put so much time into getting to know somebody and you've learned all of these like great things about them, and all of a sudden it's like no, this isn't gonna work. And I've had that. I've had like where I've gone on amazing dates with women and it's like it just doesn't, it's like you're just not for me, and you don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Like you start going into all these things where you start like kind of looking at yourself and kind of like, well, what is it about me? Am I not attractive? Am I not witty enough? Am I not funny? Like you start thinking and like, what the hell is it about me that this person doesn't like? And then you see them with like some asshole and you're like, Jesus Christ, like this is what you wanted. But that's the decision they make. You know what I mean? Like you can't let that get down on you because you're not an asshole. And if that's what this person wants, like, more power to them. Like, because the part that sucks about it the most, I would say, like, what I mean, for me is like, when I'm dating, is like, it puts me in a mind, like a headspace, right? I should say, it puts me in a headspace where shit, you know what I mean? Like, I either hope this person finds what they're looking for because I'm a positive person and I want the best for everybody. I want people to be happy. But I'd be a bold faced fucking lie to you right now if I didn't tell you that like there's a part of me that's like, yeah, I hope the next fucker you date is a flat out fucking asshole to you. I really do, because that's the vindictive side of me, right? And man, I really try not to open that door because it's really not who I am or who I'm trying to be. Like, I hope you find your happiness. And, if you end up dating an asshole, like, yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. But it makes, I again would be lying if I'm like, yeah, well, you had a good guy and those are the things you wanted, or, you had a good girl and, these are all the things you wanted. And now you're ending up with some lunatic, you know what I mean? That's basically just using you and abusing you, or that just treats you like shit, or is, basically just using you for one thing and you can't see it. And that's fine. Maybe that's the lesson you need to learn. That's what the world has in store for you, or whatever it may be. And I hope it doesn't happen to anybody that I've dated or anybody that's been in my life that I've went out with. I hope you do find your happiness, and I hope you find your peace. And some I felt like it sucks that I'm not going to be that person that delivers that to you. But, hey, it's just an opportunity for someone great to walk into my life. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me excited about like dating. That's what keeps me excited about pursuing other opportunities, to where that I am not looking at it as a loss. It's a learning lesson where I get to kind of learn, reflect, go back and kind of, regroup, right? I think that's one of the more powerful things when you can actually do that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, again, like, feel free to reach out to me if you got questions. You know what I mean? If you just want to talk about it, I think it's always a great way to be able to vent and talk about some of those things. And I love, hearing your story, things that you've gone through, especially whether it's rejection or even some great things that have happened where you didn't think it was going to happen and it did. But when you look at reframing rejection, you know what I mean? Again, it's not just the end, it is a pivot, but, your value again doesn't have to change. Their no doesn't ease your worth or make you any less of a person that you are. It's fuel. Like the rejection can either break you down or it's going to motivate your ass to level you up. You know what I mean? And I think that especially like when it comes to like the job force world, you know what I mean? If you didn't get this job, not a problem. Get back, level up, see how you can actually improve yourself. And even if that's taking a small stepping stone or step back to have to go to school or, to get a certificate and something else that you have been always thinking about, go do that. Maybe it's going to get your real estate license and going into real estate. Or, I just seen a buddy of mine online that just worked for a company for, I believe, 8+ years. And I remember him coming in when I first got there, and he was a little definitely green when it came to sales. And I see that dude had a ton of charisma and got a shit ton of enthusiasm and shit. Now he's going to nursing school. You know what I mean? And I think that's absolutely amazing. I think it's never too late to follow your passion, to follow a dream that you have, because you damn sure don't want to be left with regret, at the end of this whole thing. Right. That is, I think, the most painful thing that you could ever go through. And when I talk to the older generation or talk to seniors and, they tell me about how things they wish they could have done and having regret of, I wish I would have asked her to that dance or whatever it may be, like, you got to take your shot and go for it. Because if you're not, as a real amazing human being that was in my life and that I had a great opportunity to get to know for a portion of my life was they told me if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So you might as well ask. And if you get a no, then you get a no. But if you don't ask, again, the answer is always going to be no. So I would encourage you to regroup, refocus, and look at these things as a learning lesson. Look at them as a way to move in another direction, right? Like when I mentioned pivoting to another direction, I think it's more on the lines of like, okay, great. Like, let me see that this door wasn't for me. Boom, I can move over here and make way for this opportunity and kind of let these amazing things happen for me and happen to me. But in the end, I will say this, if it's not your season, it might just have to be a time where you wait. So if you're in a particular season of rejection, dating, work life, hear me on this. Rejection isn't the final word. It's not a stamp on your identity. It's a stepping stone. And maybe that no is making space for that yes. And that yes can be a lot bigger than you ever imagined. So keep going, keep showing up, keep believing in your worth, because rejection does not mean failure. It means your path just has another direction. I'm Dante Street, and this is Life in All Directions. Much love. Until next time, I would love to hear what direction life is taking you in. Cheers.